Okay, in this video I'm going to show you all about the autoresponder feature, which is found over here in the left-hand navigation where you see these double arrows. Now in the email world, an autoresponder often refers to a pre-scheduled, a canned sequence or series of messages that you send somebody. So if you were a MailChimp or an Aweber or ActiveCampaign user, you might use the terminology autoresponder. In our world, in this software, we refer to that sort of a thing as a campaign, which you'll find in this tab. In our software, an autoresponder refers to the software actually detecting keywords from incoming SMS messages, and then depending on the keyword, responding on your behalf. So it's the true definition of an autoresponder. So we're going to create one here. Again, use these double arrow icons on the left navigation for autoresponder. And I'm going to create one. I'm going to call it the training demo autoresponder. And you can, of course, give a description if that's helpful for your organization. And here we are. So again, if you want to rename it, you could use the edit from this field up top. It is not currently attached to any of my phone numbers, but that's okay because we haven't finished it yet. And here's where you're going to enter your various keywords. So when an incoming SMS message comes and it includes any of the following keywords that I enter up here, the response that the system is going to send off is going to be in this field here. So for instance, if someone typed in, "Who is this?" or "Who dis?" or "Who are you?" or "Who am I speaking to or with?" or something along those lines. You get the idea. I could respond with, "This is Dave Newell. How are you today? Fname." And that merge field Fname will substitute with their first name if this contact is somebody who's in your existing list of contacts. All right. And then you can also include an action. So for instance, anybody who sent you any one of these above keywords, maybe you want to automatically move that contact to a different list. You could do that with this move action, or you could copy them so that they exist on this list as well as that second list. So I want to copy them onto my second list perhaps. That's how I would achieve that. And there's other actions here that you'll see detailed in a later video. Also, you could make this an MMS multimedia message if you wanted to add a photo to your response. But let's say that's that keyword, and I'll hit save. And now let's say we want to add a second keyword if they inquire about price or fee. Let's call it any fee, or the fee. If they ask any of these questions, we want to respond with something different, which you can intelligently pre-schedule in here. So let's put, you can get started for free, and there are paid plans from $47.97 or $197 per month. And I'll save that. So now you can see multiple different keywords that they get. So again, simply you type in whatever it is. Let's say they use the number 1, and you could reply with response number 1. And I'll put one more here for 2. Oops. Add it. Response number 2. Great. Now, an incoming SMS that has any of these keywords will get the corresponding response message that we've set in here. Now, a default message is if they send something to you that does not match any of the above keywords. So you could put, for instance, I'll have to get back to you in a few minutes, to give you enough time to respond manually to that one. You see it appears here now in the default message. And then a no response keyword is a keyword that if you detect it incoming, if someone uses this particular word, you don't want the system to reply in any way whatsoever. So we like to use this one for naughty words. So there's a naughty word right there. Someone uses that bad word. I don't want the system to automatically respond to this potentially aggravated user. I want to take the wheel and manually handle that one myself. So instead of potentially, aggravating them further, the system's not going to reply on my behalf. We're going to leave that one to me. All right, so now we've got that autoresponder partially set up. The next thing we want to be able to do, save it again, is apply this autoresponder to one of my numbers. So if I go over here to my number configuration tab, you'll see I've only got one number, and I'm going to configure it. So I'm going to find that for incoming SMS messages, first of all, I want to activate that, and the response type I want it to be is an auto response, and this will be detailed in a later video. The autoresponder I want to use is the only autoresponder that we've currently got, and this is if I wanted to go and do any editing to the one I just made. Of course, don't need to do that at this moment. So okay, so now we're all set for this, and let's test it out. So if I go to my lists, for instance, my training demo list, and you'll see all the different people that are on this list. I'm going to open up my correspondence here with Mark Twain, and then I'm going to go over here on my my other computer where I've got Mark queued up, and I'm going to send the message. Wrong keyboard. Who is this? So when I now refresh this screen, you'll see on the green left-hand column on Mark's dialog that he sent the message, "Who is this?" And the system has automatically on my behalf replied, "This is Dave Newell. How are you today?" First name. And it even substituted in Mark's first name here because he's a recognized contact. Now, for instance, if Mark, on the other hand, goes ahead and types something else, like 1, and I refresh this page again, I think you know what we're going to see. We're going to see that the system is going to reply with a different response. Nope, I was a little too quick on the draw. Mark hasn't finished sending his message yet. Alright, now let's refresh. So Mark sent us the message 1, and the system replied on our behalf with response number 1. Very creative. Now what if Mark sent us a message that contained more than one of our keywords? For instance, 1, 2. If Mark sent us a message that has more than one of our keywords, then how are we going to reply to that? And I'll refresh so you can see. We're actually going to fire off 2 responses. So Mark just sent us this, 1, 2, and so we replied with response number 1, quickly followed by response number 2. So that's something you can build into your logic for how you structure your autoresponders. So here's the next example. What if Mark sent us a message that included one of our naughty words, one of our bad words from our bad word no response list? Well, do I want the system responding on my behalf to a potentially unhappy customer and perhaps further escalating things? No, I don't want that. So here's Mark's incoming bad word, and the system has not replied to that. Likewise, if Mark uses one of our valid keywords, if he asks, who is this, and he includes the bad word in his message somewhere, you might wonder, well, what does the system do with that? Because he's sending a valid keyword that we're listening for, but he's also using one of the naughty words. And so the logic in that, he's put phrase number 1, which is a valid keyword, but he's also put phrase number 2, which we don't want to reply to. And so the system does not reply, because that's the behavior that you're going to want in that scenario. So that you can, if if he sends you a message like that, you can say, chill, dude. It's Dave. And hopefully that will de-escalate matters. But anyway, you get the idea. That's how autoresponders work. I'll go ahead and open it up once again, see if there's anything that we need to show here. Actually, one thing that has changed now, you can see that it is attached to one or more of the phone lines. Now, of course, we only have one phone number, one Twilio number configured at the moment, but if there were multiple phone numbers, you'd see them all listed here. You can see what the different keywords that we listen for are and what their corresponding messages are. And then I guess I didn't explain, I'll show you this limit and fallback. If I'm creating a new keyword here, let's call it 3, and my response is response 3. You could actually put an automatic limiter on here. So for instance, if you had a coupon deal, maybe better than 3 is coupon, and then your reply is your free coupon code is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you want to put a limit. So this is a message that can only be used X number of times. So let's say 1, because they can only send us that once. We're only going to send them 1 free coupon. Anyone who tries to do it again is going to get the fallback message of, sorry, you've already gotten 1 coupon. And we're going to save that into our autoresponder when they use the word coupon. So now let's go back to my correspondence with Mark. He should be in my contacts. There he is. Okay, now Mark over on his phone is going to type that keyword coupon. He's going to send it. And let's refresh. And go to Mark's correspondence. So there it is. He sent us the message coupon, and we replied with, your free coupon code is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then perhaps next week Mark gets a little greedy or forgetful, and he types the same text message to us again, seeking another coupon. I'm going to refresh the page, and since we've set a limiter on that particular keyword, when he sends, here's the first instance that he sent a couple of minutes ago, here's the second instance that he just sent, but this time we're going to give him a sorry, you've already gotten 1 coupon. So that's how the limiter feature works on the autoresponder. And that's it.